That might be okay. Let's do a swatch. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Totally was me. Oh, we're is it fine or is it fine?
It's fine. You know what?
Oh,
Everything's fine. I don't know what tech's
what
doing to me
the
today, but it's fine.
I put my headphones on backwards. I got my flipping head wire in the wrong place. Wire is
It's gonna
located
be
in
a
that
day.
be a day. I It's not enough time to have ice cream before we started. I feel like it's a tragedy of a day, I promised.
Sorry, what
Didn't
about ice
have
cream?
didn't have time to get ice cream before we
That
started.
is a tragedy. I had ice cream. No,
Very
I had a milkshake the other day. I did too much adulting. I went to the bank and like got a mortgage and stuff, and so then we had to offset the
oh,
adulting by
I'm
going
sorry.
to
Did you just say mortgage? Did you buy a house?
pre-approval. We're putting in
Okay,
an offer on a house.
okay,
So the anxiety is high today because offers are
that's
due by
fair.
1 p.m. tomorrow. So the anxiety is high today. After this, we're gonna
Oh,
go see the house again and then like officially formulate. I gotta go adult after this anyway. But we were adulting the other day and then we had to go get ice cream because that was just far too much adulting.
you need to take photos for your podcast co-host to have, uh, because said podcast co-host does what for fun? Changes
Lots
her
of
living space
things.
around
Oh, okay,
and
gotcha.
has lived in over 25 houses over the course of her lifetime.
Yeah, I can send you the listing after.
Yeah,
You can.
because that way when
It's
you're like, oh, and we were thinking about this, I probably have a really good idea of how much work it'll
yeah,
be.
yeah. It's all done up and like staged right now because it's somebody's
most
parents' house, so
most
like there's nobody
people
actually living there right now.
most people do the staging because it's very difficult for people to see the bones of the house. They see the staging. It's
Yeah,
a
well,
marketing
like
thing.
yeah, I know, I totally get it. So
That's what I'm glad you
yes,
guys are pre-approved, and hopefully you hear back and it's good news. But again, I mean, with the housing
I mean we
market
were
the way it's
pre-approved
been
before,
since,
it just expired. So
well, yeah, the housing market when I bought my first house in 2001 is very different than what it is today.
my lighting was crap today. Yeah,
Speed
the,
is
the housing market is a little different.
a smidge different.
It's just a smidge different.
I know because I saw that last house last year because I've been in this apartment officially over a year now, and yeah, that was a try on, a treat and a half. By the way, guys, I refused to stage my living space. I refused.
Yeah,
You
well, you
could
have to
not
still live
tell.
there.
You could not tell how good the house was. Was not my problem. My mom's always refused to stage houses. She thinks it's ridiculous, and I agree with her. It is ridiculous because it doesn't matter how much or what you like about the house. 90% of people come in, paint the walls off white, and rip out all the character. And I've had done that for decades,
I know.
decades,
That
and
makes me
it's
so
distressing.
sad. That makes me so sad. So the
Yeah, do it
house
all
that
over
we're
the
looking
place.
at is like a
Just
1960s split, I think.
okay.
So it's got like some
I
nice
actually know what
1960s
those
character
words mean.
original kitchen. So it's got the really adorable cupboards.
Okay, I gotta put my headphones around. How's chat
Except
doing?
we've got a few hellos.
People
Everything's mint
wandering in.
green though. I hate the mint green.
That's
The mint green needs to go.
that's mint
But
green was a
besides
color
that, besides the
choice
paint color,
in the 60s. It was literally in the 60s.
besides the paint color, the house is fantastic.
Well, guys, we're doing our monthly live. What?
Yes. Hello
What?
to Asa and Erin and Nikki and Karen and Melanie and Liz and yes. Okay, that's everybody.
Trying to decide if this coffee is steeped enough for me to push the plunger thing on the French press to have coffee. No, we're leaving it for a few moments. Let's do an intro. Welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and tuck everything in between. This is episode Jocelyn doesn't have a hot clue because she forgot to ask.
Oh gosh, what episode? Oh no, I forgot to do my sign. Hang on, the episode number is 279.
Oh, wonderful. My name is Jocelyn and my co-host is
Diana.
And we are super profesh, guys. It is
Wildly
Sunday, August the
professional.
7th. Super professional. It is the first Sunday of the month, so this is going to be a live episode, which is good because that means me and Diana can take the next day off from editing and show notes, and then you guys usually get to have gaming on Wednesdays because about Wednesday it feels weird not to have something go up, so we do some Stardew Valley.
Yep.
Yeah. That's usually how that works. All right, episode 279. That's beautiful. It is, I don't know. I didn't look for your word for the day. I haven't opened up my books because we're going to talk about the books today. I'm gonna push the I'm drinking coffee. What's in your cup?
Well, it's like 40 degrees with the humidity here, so I went for the cold beverage of kombucha. I have ginger kombucha today.
Ugh. You and your kombucha.
I like kombucha, and it's cold because it's so hot. It's so hot. It's 40 degrees with the humidity.
It's August. It's August. Hot days are still a thing called the dog days of summer. Like, we're nowhere near done summer.
No, but like
Nowhere
40
near.
degrees. That's a lot of summer.
So, I am currently enjoying the cool-ish weekend. So it's been like 21 or 22 today here in the city. But then we're back to the high 20s, low 30s for the middle of the week. Woo! Not woo, guys. 30 plus temps are normal into September where I live.
Yep.
So I'm so far away from sweater weather, it's not even funny. Sweater weather's going to happen in like maybe October if I'm lucky.
It's one thing
you
when it's
live
30
even farther
degrees,
south
like,
than I do.
It's 40 degrees. It's 40 degrees. It's just...
No, thank you.
You step outside and you're like, am I breathing air or water? I can't
I'm not
tell.
studying at the University of Toronto for my master's program. I looked at the temperatures in the summer and went, no. And I started looking overseas.
Honestly.
I started looking
choice.
overseas and going, oh, I wonder if I can qualify for stuff in universities in Europe. Turns out
There's no minus 40 in the winter, but dang, that humidity is really something.
That's something I'm willing to deal with. Oh my word.
It's really something.
The picky sound is Jocelyn stirring the sugar into her coffee. It's just some regular decaf coffee, guys.
Chat. Melanie says, I'm home from camping, still stupid hot, feels like 41 degrees. Yep.
Gross.
Yeah, not maybe the best weekend for camping.
I mean, if you're near a lake, like you can spend all day in the water and stay
That's
cool.
True. If you're near water,
but if you're
it would be
not
fantastic.
near water, not so much.
It's a little rough. Liz says staging is boring. Yep.
Staging is so boring.
Sterile.
It's like, let's just rip all of the personality out of a space.
I know,
Look,
I hate
it's
it
pretty.
so much.
What?
Like, I just want to cry when I see all these Century homes and they've, like, put down that fake hardwood gray vinyl and they've painted all the walls white and all the original wood trim they've painted gray, and it's like, but why?
It's because that's what people like. It's really weird.
I hate it so much. I just want to cry. Nikki says,
people
when we moved
thought my
into
parents'
our
house had too much color when we sold it.
Nikki says the first thing that they did was paint the porch walls red.
Yeah, like, do something. Like, oh my, beige boxes. No wonder people went crazy during lockdown. They were stuck in a beige institutional room for their whole days. I'd go nut bars too.
Aaron's saying my grandparents' house has been mostly remodeled since it was built in the 60s, except the bathrooms. One is completely mint green and the other is pale pink, including the toilets, sinks, and tubs. Okay, so the bathrooms in this house, the main bathroom, turquoise. Like vintage turquoise. And the ensuite is pink with fake marble countertops. It's... The pink bathroom would get painted.
So good. Whatever. Coat of paint. That'll fix your problem. Just for the love of Georgia, don't pick beige.
I actually really like the turquoise one, but the pink is just...
or even just something to tone it down, hey?
Yeah, even if it was just like a pale pink,
Just
but
something to
it's
tone it down.
pink. It's
Incredible.
1960s pink.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. All right.
Lavender purple bathtub. Holy. Jen's house in Brandon has a lavender purple bathtub. Kids call it their
Yeah.
princess tub.
I would too.
That's
I
really
absolutely
something.
would. I absolutely would. That's amazing. Why am I doing this? Oh, because if I like the fabric I'm getting, I'm not gonna worry about a gauge swatch. Guys, I'm doing without a gauge. What? It's a
Gasp.
shawl. It'll be fine. It's a
Uh,
shawl. Fine.
all right, so we've done what's in our cup. We've talked about houses and lavender bathtubs, and teal
Wait,
toilets.
my grandma's last
It's
bathtub
amazing.
was red, and it was a jacuzzi tub. So before they moved into the
See,
co-op housing.
I feel like the ceramic things in a bathroom should be a light color so you can see when they're dirty. That maybe that's just me. I like white ceramics. Um, I don't really understand the colored ceramics, but they are interesting.
My grandma wanted a red jacuzzi tub at the last house grandpa built her in Brandon. So he got a red soaker jacuzzi tub for her because that's what she wanted.
I'm on board with the soaker jacuzzi tub part. It's just the red. I
She didn't want white. Quote, I am life's too short for boring bathtubs. She's not wrong. Life is too short for boring bathtubs.
All right. I really can't argue with that. Maybe I just like boring bathtubs. I don't know.
Possible. I mean, they also had a red door at the front of their house, which made them stand out. So when
Oh,
people were
see
like,
that?
"Oh,
I
you're
would love a
with your
brightly colored
grandparents,"
door.
I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." They're like, "How am I gonna know I got the right house?" I'm like, "It's the only one on the block with the red door. Find the house with the red door on the right hand side. That's Grandma Grandpa's house. Can't miss it." They'd be like, "No, it's red." I'm like, "Oh no, we're not pretending to be red. We're not maybe red influenced. We're red." There was
I
no
I
second
love
guessing
a
that
brightly
door
colored door
color.
on a house. I would do a brightly colored door.
Oh, it looks so good. You could always find the house, which was super handy when giving directions to people. I'll talk about houses forever. We're going to talk about knitting stuff, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about knitting stuff. Yeah, so you had your live with Louise, so you've got a whole bunch of stuff you can talk about.
I do.
I was panic crafting on the secret project, so I have two things.
Oh, okay. I'm going to be going for a while.
I have
Um,
acquisitions to make up for it, but yeah.
what cause? That's a thing. All right then. Well, while we podcast today, I am literally casting on because I wanted something in my brain, and at least partially out of my brain, which means starting it. Does it mean I will finish it anytime soon? No, guys. Guys, I literally will cast on a thing just to get the itch out of my system, and then I'll go back to what I was working on. So I have this cute little asymmetrical start shawl.
Very very cute little
Don't
baby tiny shawl.
don't ask. I have no idea. I don't know what I'll need testers. I have no idea what it's going to be called right now. It's a picture in my head, and I'm seeing if this is the density of shawl I want. And I think it is because it's for winter. Because I'm dreaming of better times. I'm dreaming of better times. I can't tell you I'm using Barocco yarn, some DK weight yarn. All right, let's do a quick recap of the Thursday check-in with the Louise, because that gets through like most of my stuff. Then there's just craft off stuff, so that'll work. If you didn't watch it, I'm going to go wildflower wool. I go in depth, so this is just going to be a super speedy. And it was a month. It was a month, people. I did get stuff
It
done,
was a
but not in
month.
the way people thought I was going to. My window's open today. Can you tell? I managed to mess up my own lace pattern that I
Good,
wrote
solid.
good, solid. So now that that's been ripped out, because the amazing Erin came over and rescued me, mostly because this transitions into black again pretty quick. And I was doing lace in the black section, and that's where I messed up. So that wasn't going to happen. So this shawl is still not done because I had to have all that work ripped out. That's okay. So the design, not a go. Didn't happen. Wasn't going to work. Am I going to work on it again? Yeah. Is it podcast knitting? No, guys. I've already messed up the lace once, and the marvelous moderator already has that pattern and a note right in the pattern that says "stop here." So I really need to get. I need to get the first lace section done so I can move that "stop here" further down.
Amazing.
I'm just thinking, okay, you know what? It happens. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. After laughing at me and chuckling, Erin helped rip back the 34 plus rows of chart knitting that I had done on my flat white because I was using red instead of blue. Now on camera, you can very clearly see that this yarn is red. These are actually I knit so tight when people pick up stitches for me, I actually give them smaller needles because they actually really need the smaller needles because otherwise the stitches are too tight for them. And since they're helping me, I make their life as easy as possible, right? So you can tell that this is red. Pretty red. You can tell when holding it next to blue. Decidedly red. Decidedly red.
They do seem like distinct colors.
Didn't notice till I was done the charts. Didn't notice. Had I noticed even at like row 3 or 4, when you finally start to get like, a significant amount of chart going, I would have just hand tinked it. It would have taken forever and a hot minute. I would have been grumpy about it, but I would have done it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, that's okay. So the flat white's still on the needles. I'm going to pull it all out because I'm going to transfer it to the bigger needles here. I did do the smart thing. I sewed my neck hole closed. Beautiful quick whip stitches.
Very even.
A+. Yeah. A+. Not my best stitching. It is only meant to do one thing and one thing only. Hold my sleeves and my sweater.
Ah, I see. So it's a contained bag instead of having flappy bits.
Instead of having flappy bits, because I added the extra length, so once I put the 34 rows on, this is a very long below the buttocks sweater that I am then going to do the hem, and then I'm going to steek this bad boy. Then I'll have a cardigan. Cardigan! And when will I have it? I don't know. I'd love to say at the end of this month for Stash Dash. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how angry I am at things. So that was 2. And I had 4.
My heart just broke when you pulled out that sweater on with Louise. And I did it in red. For reasons. Oh no!
Just
it was so pretty too.
And it was, the color work was gorgeous, guys. The color work was just, I didn't make any mistakes. I flew through the charts. The tension was beautiful. Like, there was stretch and ease. Like, it was great chart work, great color work knitting. And now I get to do it again.
Again!
Woohoo!
Once more, with feeling.
With feeling. I'm like, son of a water buffalo.
It's rough. It's rough.
Fine. God bless Nancy. She said that I finished the 8-bit. Love her enthusiasm for these things. And I did finish the 8-bit. Just not the way everybody thought I was going to finish the 8-bit.
Yeah, you finished it in a sense.
It's done. I ripped it. All that's left is the sleeves now. Just have to rip the sleeves and it's finished. It's gone. Goodbye.
So, do you know what it's going to be now that it's been reclaimed?
Yes, it's a sort of an asymmetrical winter shawl. It's this tiny little triangle.
I see.
As I was ripping, I'm like, what can I turn you into? I want a big winter shawl thing, right? Yeah, like a big statement one with like mittens and stuff. And I'm like, I've got enough yarn. This is nice woolly wool from Briggs and Little. It'll make excellent mittens and an excellent scarf. I treat shawls like scarves. That's going to be a thing. So I was doing that the other day, so that the body's all ripped out. So that's done. It's good. So they okay, 3 out of 4. something had to work, right? No, no, of course not. The last thing I was working on was my
it
Ursina.
was a month of education. It was very educational. You learned things and you made decisions.
It was a month of the universe going, remember, you have to stop and think for half a second, and the error is always between the computer and the chair.
Frequently.
Half a second thought, and half of my problems wouldn't have existed. I still would have ripped the 8-bit, but I would have finished the flat white because I just would have done my ribbing, done the sewing, and sneaked it. I might not have had the button band done yet, but I would have the bulk of the other work finished, right?
Mm-hmm.
No problem. The Ursina, I had too many back increases. So I was doing too many back increases, not paying attention to the patterns. So again, the problems between the computer and the chair, and me not stopping for half a second and thinking about my stitch counts. Because what would have rescued me was simply counting my stitches.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. That's all I needed to do was count my stitches, and I didn't do it. So, still entirely my problem, still entirely my fault, still got really grumpy, still want to make an Ursina, but I think I'm going to make a full version. Instead of the cropped version, I'm going to make the full length version. So I ripped it out and I made a crochet cardigan instead.
Did you finish that one since Thursday?
Almost.
You and Louise were cackling about how you were going to pull out a finished sweater on me today.
Technically, it's done. I'm adding a hood because you have the option with the campfire cardi to add a hood to it. So you can have a hooded, and I'm doing the option with the hood. So no, because I'm not on the hood. But I do have a below the butt crocheted cardigan.
But it's an otherwise complete cardigan.
Otherwise complete cardigan that needs a couple ends woven in and a wash and a block. I'm adding the hood, and that's just a thing that didn't happen this morning. I was on the radio instead. That's not true. The radio was like 5-10 minutes, but that was my excuse for not getting my hood done this morning. I started a new book instead, and then I started working on something else. Because I could. But that, I think, catches everybody up with the woes that were my last month of check-ins with Louise.
That's a lot of woes. Like, whoa.
So we've got some big hopes for this month. I am starting projects, not finishing things. So there's no deadline involved. I just need to have it on my hook or on my needles. And we voted for my sister's Christmas blanket, which I've got the yarn to start with. That's right, I hang things off my chair, guys.
Yeah.
She has
That's what chairs are for.
A rusty orange, like a fall rusty harvest orange color couch, leather. So I've got a couple of shades of blue acrylic here. She prefers acrylic because 380+ pound dogs, one husband, one teenager, a boyfriend, boyfriend's younger siblings, and 2 birds. She just...
Yeah, so machine wash friendly.
Machine wash friendly is a requirement for her lifestyle right now, and that's fine. So I'm going to get started on a crochet blanket for her from that. The pattern is from the Crochet Crow, and I will talk about it obviously next month when we do the check-in for it. And I'm going to cast on a t-shirt for myself. Finally, out of this Estelle confetti, rainbow confetti that I've had for a hot minute now. There you go. Let's put that label right set up. And it's a cotton blend.
Ooh.
So I'm very excited. So I'm going to do some gauge swatches because it is a thin and it's got cotton, so it's going to have next to no shape. So I need to gauge swatch to get the right stitch counts for the pattern. And I think I'm going to do the Elfie tea.
Oh yeah, that one.
It's
like
the one with the contiguous, the one with the contiguous sleeves.
Yeah,
they're just the cap sleeves, so I could do the cap sleeves, the continuous sleeves, and then I can do the body to the length I want. And if I have leftover yarn, I can make my sleeves longer if I wanted to. As long as I'm watching my color phase and stuff, right? So I've got 2 balls of that Estelle in the cotton, and they're big balls. It's a lot of yardage for them. So, and because neither of those are finishes, they just need to be on my needles. That's the break I need this month, guys.
Yeah, you picked 4 things for a month. It was a lot. Yeah.
And I couldn't talk to anybody about it. Dinah can confirm there was no stressing.
No, yeah, that's wow.
I did do one question and went, here's a question, and that was about the 8-bit. When we got towards that last week, and I realized I had not picked it up again, and I went, okay, now we seriously need to stop and think about this. And I think I should rip. I did ask the mods in the Patreon chat, which is Diana, the marvelous moderator, and our Google Foo Master. And they all went, yeah, no, if you're not enjoying it and it's not something you're going to wear, it's got to go. So,
yeah.
Otherwise, they had no idea this much drama was going on in the background.
That's so much drama. But hey, it's content.
Many words, and none of them were YouTube appropriate.
Oh, dear.
Oh, there's a cat there. I just poked it.
Oh. Well, don't do that. She might bite your toes.
She might. Or wrap herself around me and lick my feet clean, which also causes problems for me because I'm ticklish.
Well, clearly you need some grooming.
Every once in a while, she assumes I need grooming. I don't know why, but she does. So that's where we are. So
well, I mean,
there
you're
we
not
go.
doing it yourself, so
it's always after I have a bath. I'm serious.
Yeah, well,
I know.
wet,
I know. I bathed. I know I bathed. I am aware. I'm clean right now. Super clean. I promise.
You immersed yourself in water, foolish human. I don't understand what the problem is.
Yes. Yeah, she was looking in the tub this morning when I was running water and then looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get back in the tub of water. Once the water's in there, what are you going to do about it? There you go. Super fast wrap up. Well, as fast as I can make a wrap up. And this is where I poke Diana about the chat.
Poke the chat. Oh, yeah, yes. Where are we at in chat? Okay, we were talking about tubs. Karen was saying, I feel so bad for you watching the checkup. And Nikki was saying the color value is the same for the flat white, so I can see how you can, like, you know.
Not doing it. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. Color blocking is not my thing. I don't really like color blocking.
Yeah.
I understand the aesthetic appeal for it for some people. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Same ways when I understand some people think blue jeans are comfortable. They're essentially wrong, but if you want to be uncomfortable in your pants, help yourself.
And you are incorrect.
Out of your minds.
They are not as comfortable as some other things, but they are far more comfortable than other things.
Also, leggings are not pants. Leggings are leggings. They're their own thing.
And also was saying the pie made me in thicker yarn makes a big shawl. Mine covers my bed like a bedspread.
It would. It's a really big fingering. Get out of my mirror weight yarn. It's to be massive. Oh, whoops. Technically, I have one additional thing, but it's not here right now, so I will talk about it next week.
That's fine. Alright, I suppose I should talk about my thing. I have a boring thing.
Yeah, because all I really have after that is like checkup knitting. Like the craft off stuff to talk about.
I worked a little bit more on the Fossil Frenzy. You can't tell, I forgot to put a progress keeper in. But I promise, I did some more work.
I promise.
On the Fossil Frenzy.
I promise. So
let's just admire the fabric one more time.
Sure, why not?
It's so pretty. We'll admire the stitch markers one more time because they're adorable. Little triceratops there.
Watch while you put a progress keeper in.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a progress keeper when we're done this because yeah. Anyway, Fossil Frenzy tee out of yarn from Fiber Art Studios, Singular Studio, I think, in Vancouver. I don't remember what the white is. I think it's the Algria from Manos de Uruguay. I think that's the white. It doesn't have a ball band anymore. I'm reasonably certain that's what it is.
Okay. So when people ask me about the pie made me for the colorway I picked for the shawl and a ball, and I had to go, I don't know. I've had those shawl and the balls for so long. They have no ball band anymore.
Yeah, there's some kind of color. I don't know. They're this color. Yep.
Yep.
I made myself a stylish hat.
Yes, you have. And maybe one day it'll be a shirt and not a hat. But right now you're getting close to tricorner. Like, what in the world is going on your head?
Oh, thinking of knitted t-shirts, I actually, do you remember the, was it the Ome tee that I made, like, last spring, and then, like, never actually wore anywhere? I wore it yesterday.
Good.
It went out in the world yesterday, so I do wear knitted t-shirts eventually, apparently. Which is good to know.
Why not? The wool would be a great insulator to keep you cool. And to wick away moisture.
It was just sticky. Everything was just sticky.
When everything's sticky, you're sticky. That's just how it works.
Because I went out to a thing yesterday, and it was fun, and yeah, I utterly forgot it was happening. So I have acquisitions for later.
Excellent.
But I think we have to talk about craft off stuff first.
We do have to talk about craft off stuff first.
Nope, this way. There we go. So in the vein of it was a month, I did not do great on my secret crafting. How'd you do on your secret crafting?
Not too bad. Oh no, you're up.
Okay.
You're going.
Okay, so I was doing the Zelda socks.
Mm-hmm.
I threw a stitch marker on the floor. 1 second.
What did that stitch marker ever do to you?
Nothing. I just thought it was better attached than it was, apparently. Yeah, so I was doing the Zelda socks. That's Lattes and Llamas Geek Along sock pattern. It's free on Ravelry. But so they have the charts done as 4 colors.
Yeah.
And I'm doing mine as 2 colors. So I've been having to constantly rejigger the 4-color chart into a 2-color chart in my brain.
Yes.
And then I had to do a flap and gusset heel, which is my least favorite kind of heel because I find it extremely tedious.
Yes.
And there was color work.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I messed it up.
Yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if it doesn't bother you, move on.
Well,
if it bothers you, rip back and do it again.
Messed it up in terms of stitch count.
Well, that could cause problems.
Things are working out so far, but I'm not confident they're going to continue working out. Like, I spent a week... I'll just show you. I spent a week trying to figure out this heel and, like, pulling back parts of it and redoing parts of it just to get... No, wait, here we go. It's this way. There we go. That's the leg, and there's the foot.
Okay.
So, like, I flew through the leg, and then I got to the heel, and then I just, like, ground to a halt trying to figure out how to do a color work heel flap and gusset in 2 colors based off of a 4-color chart, trying to get the ends of the yarn where I needed them, when I needed them, and I'm pretty certain I have messed up the stitch counts just a little bit, and I might not have enough stitches on the bottom of my foot, so I might have to fudge that a little bit. And then to top it all off, just the other day I discovered I dropped a stitch in my heel. So... So I was hoping to have a pair of colorwork socks done. I thought that was a reasonable thing. It was evidently not a reasonable thing because colorwork is hard sometimes. Anyway.
I mean, I also know you didn't pick those up till, like, way close to the end of the month.
Well, the first week I whooshed through the leg of the sock. Yeah. And then the heel was just so demoralizing, and, then I didn't actually really pick it up until last week.
That's fair.
Anyway, there's the bottom of the foot with the little heart chart. And then the side has stripies, and then the top, if I get that yarn out of there. The top, not that you can really tell right now, is going to be the shield. The Hylian shield. I might be saying that wrong. I never played the Zelda games. Anyway, Link's shield.
I have not played it so very long. It's not even funny. Anyway. And while I enjoy it as a nostalgia thing, like Sonic the Hedgehog, I have no desire to go back and play it again. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense. So yeah, that's where this is at. I think it's not messed up enough that I can't fudge it and make it work. I'm also quite certain at this point, as I try and reach around the microphone here. Oh god. The purple ball is now distinctly smaller than the white ball, and I'm quite certain I don't have enough of the purple for 2 whole socks.
Okay.
So, hey Erin, when you dye this purple one again, can you set aside a skein for me? I'm gonna need it.
Oh, just wait. She's coming out with Tweety DK bases. They'll be in our yard order.
Oh, there absolutely will be, yes.
Yeah. Especially given those patterns that the Marvelous Moderator was showing us.
I believe the name of the socks it's just the Zelda socks by Lattes and Llamas.
Llamas, yeah.
Legend of Zelda's socks by Lattes and Llamas. Yeah. So, yeah.
And right, I was looking at a double... Is it double knit? No. Oh, it's a specific type of knitting. But they've got a free Star Wars scarf pattern.
Ooh.
I think it's double knitting. And I'm like, probably gonna have to make one for my mommy. For she likes the Star Wars. She likes the Star Wars. Stitch count is off.
Yeah, with the dropped stitch. Yep.
Yeah.
It might be. It may well be. It's not super off, I don't think. Also, I read this part of the heel pattern, a bunch of times, and it didn't make sense to me, and so I just kind of, plowed ahead with the thing that made sense. And I don't know. I think I messed it up somewhere, and I'm gonna have to fudge it somehow, but I think I can make it work, because I think I'm only 6 stitches wrong, or so.
That's not too bad.
So, I can make it work. And the socks are asymmetrical anyway. The other sock has a sword on the foot. So if they're a little bit different, that's okay, because they're going to be different anyway.
True.
Erin's, is that the purple maize yarn? I think this is maize yarn. It's the really dark purple with the sort of lavendery pink bits. I think that's this one. Yeah.
Bit of a dense fabric. But after I wash a block, that's gonna get drapey. Okay, we're good. I'm sorry. I want to say yes, it's May, but you should double check your socks. Your sock club colorways.
I'm 90% certain. I don't know. They're all in a mush over there.
They're all in a mush over there?
I'm 90% certain.
Mush is descriptive. Okay.
Yeah, fair. Well, I mean, they're all in a mush up there on the shelf. Yeah, so I failed.
You made progress, and you made more progress than I did, because all of my progress was backwards progress. Or I have more reverse knitting than knitting. Oh my god, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a mind. The number of times I knit a row on the heel and no wait, this is wrong, go back, and oh no wait, that was right, knit again, yeah. No, but I forgot to carry the strand across, so go back.
Yeah.
I knit the same 4 rounds of the sock probably 8 times until I got it right, and I still think I got it wrong. And then I dropped a stitch anyways, so I just it's fine.
All right.
Drop stitch, I can just stitch in, and the whatever stitch count is off, I can fudge it, because it's on the bottom half of the foot anyway, so it's fine. It's fine.
Not too bad. It's fine.
It's fine.
And on the bottom of the foot, if it's not going to bother you, let it go and move on.
Yeah.
If it's gonna bother you, obviously, then you got to go back. But if you're over it, pick up the stitch, pull it up, move on.
Oh, the
Totally
other
my
thing,
call.
because of course I tried them on to make sure, like, okay, on top of everything else, they do at least fit, right? And yes, the size is fine. It's 64
Excellent.
stitches. But, like, I've never made colorwork socks before, and, like, man, trying to get the instep's a little snug.
Smidge snug?
Yeah, it's a bit of a learning thing, but, yeah. So, it fits.
Ah,
It's good. We're all good.
so excited. I need to make mine. With what time? Stop casting on fun projects, Jocelyn. I know. Work on socks. Okay, so my craft off
They're so
project.
soft. This yarn is gorgeous. They're gonna be so. I'm never wearing these in shoes. These are at home. I'm showing off my socks because they're our guests' socks. These are the guest.
Or you're
guest
visiting.
socks.
Or you're visiting.
Yeah.
Because then when you're spending the day at your husband's parents' house, like that's perfect.
Yes.
Husband parent house socks.
Yes, they are house socks. They are not shoe socks.
That's fair. You're not alone. I also did not finish my craft off project. I did get my mock-ups done, and I do have my fabric cut, so I have all my fabric pieces for my dress. So they are all here. So I just need to start cutting on the fabric itself. So, well, okay. Technically not the fabric part. I need to fold and iron my pleats for the front of my dress and have them pinned in place. Then I can start sewing, and I'm going to sew slightly out of order from the pattern instructions. So I did a mock-up because this is my first time working with this pattern. And I needed to know where I needed to lengthen things for my person and where I might run across any pivot points where I need to make adjustments to the pattern. Thankfully, because I'm working in that super stretchy rayon, I have a lot of give and a lot of leeway. So it's like I don't have to add darts or anything, right?
Yeah.
Which helps a ton. So I've got that all set up. But the pattern has you start usually with your bodice construction, and then you sew your skirt and attach. I like to sew the sides of my skirts together and then leave them up to hang for 24 hours just to allow for any drift in the hemline to occur. That I can re-even the hemline out. Then I can attach it to the bodice of the dress. So I tend to do the skirt sides first, which, if you know anything about sewing, means sewing and ironing your seams flat. Thankfully, again, because it's a very, very knit fabric, I don't have to do seam finishing because it won't fray. The nature of the fabric is that it doesn't fray. So I'm going to do that first, and then I will hang it, and then I will work on the bodice pieces, which is start with my pleats, get them ironed, get them tacked down, then I can start assembly construction for it. So little bits and pieces at a time, but we do get done. I didn't worry about pattern matching. I simply did not have the yardage for it on that large of a print. It's very difficult to pattern match. So instead of trying and then being off and it looking weird, I didn't even try at all, which for whatever reason looks fine. You either have to match perfectly or it has to look like you didn't bother.
Yeah.
So only two ways to float that boat. So that got done, which was great. I've got the sewing machine set up for that specific type of knit fabric, which requires a zigzag stitch. And my tension's good, but that also means that my blue rose print dress that I need to size down, while I'm sitting stretchy knits, I'm going to sit here and knit all the stretchy knits and get them done and over with so I can put the machine back to regular fabrics. So I do have some sewing stuff planned up in the future. I just simply only got through my mock-ups and pattern alterations. I didn't get to the sewing part, but that's fine. For a new pattern, this is the normal process you do. Is you do yourself a mock-up to make sure it's going to fit you right. Yeah, and then you cut your really nice pretty fabric. So that is okay. I don't mind. I knew there was extra steps. I waited too long. It is my own fault. However,
Time
again, we have summer till end
hard.
of September. So I was busy doing adulting stuff, like making food. Which is fine. I technically, because I made the decision not to buy any more clothes, I'm very quickly hitting that wall where I have to make clothes because I'm wearing some out. So we are do or die, which is about the time when I actually get my keystring gear and get stuff done. So deadlines, fast approaching. Fast approaching.
Yeah, yeah. Having stuff to wear is good.
Mm-hmm. Coffee. All right. On the bright side, that brings up what you're going to work on and what I'm going to work on this month because we posted some stuff for voting after literally, I think it was like on Friday. I was like, someone needs to
It's
post.
Friday. We got to do the things.
We gotta do the things. Erin was over visiting, and I was like, don't mind me. I'm just taking some Instagram photos because I gotta post today.
Yeah, yeah, it's always great. Just, don't mind me out in public taking an Instagram photo. It's fine. Like I'm one of those people. Yes.
The joy is most of my friends have known me for so long; it's not a thing for them. And in the case of Erin, because she's Fireweed Fiber Co., she does the same thing because it's a part of her business. It's not weird to her, which is so helpful. So helpful. You have no idea, guys. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So we posted. I know you went with the lighthouse shawl or embroidery.
Yes.
Okay. And I went with starting the rosette sweater or a new outfit for the Manitoba Fiber Festival next month.
No idea what outfit yet, just an outfit.
So many words, so much explanations, and if you're not a sewer, none of these words are going to make sense. So I'm like, how do I explain this? I've made universal pattern blocks. I've done them for circles, or for full circle, 3/4 circle, half circle, a quarter circle, and a flat skirt based off my waist measurements using legit math, like includes fractions, legit math to chart out. And then I drew all of that out on paper and then I cut it all out and I wrote all over it with a big marker so I could see what I was doing. And I made sure to write that I had no seam allowance on any of these things. So I had to account for seam allowances. And now I'm going through and I'm making universal basic pattern blocks for the bodice pieces. So I can literally mix and match the skirt to the bodice top I want to make any type of dress I want. So I'm taking myself away from patterns to a universal block system. So it should
you can
reduce
just kind of
the
make
amount.
it up as you go, kind of thing. Choose your own adventure.
Sort of choose your own adventure. What it means is the patterning for the blocks. Most patterns aren't really that dissimilar. You either have pleats or you don't have pleats. You either have a full skirt or a narrow skirt. Like they use the same sort of core 40 or 50 things, and they sort of just mix and match where it's placed. So the universal stuff will give me some really good basic wardrobes. So like I like half circle skirts. They're nice, they're big, they're flowy, they're flippy. You know what I'm talking about. But they're not a full circle skirt. They're not a skirt you stick a crinoline under. That's a lot of skirt.
Yeah.
Most of the time up till now, I've just been folding my fabric, doing the measurements on the fabric, and then going from there. Because a circle skirt is a circle skirt is a circle skirt. So now I just have the pattern block pieces for it and the waistband pieces cut out and on paper, which makes it easier for me to not destroy the pattern. Because like if I like this dress pattern, I'm going to have to transfer it from the tissue paper to paper so that it's got enough sturdiness to survive being used more than once. So there's that. But bodice blocks just let me, instead of having to do that whole mock-up stage, the bodice block has been made and I've already made a mock-up of the bodice block, so I know how it fits. So my bodice blocks will have already been adapted from mock-ups to be an almost perfect fit off the hop. So like if I've got to add an extra dart or take a little bit out, it's because of the fabric I'm working with, not it's a brand new pattern. I literally need to start from scratch and make sure it fits me properly. So I'm essentially front loading all the math and all the work to make the garment process easier. I'm doing it with shirts and stuff. So I started with the dresses because I want to move to more dresses, less pants and less t-shirts. And I'm going to then make tunics and stuff in there so I can wear leggings with tunics, because leggings are not pants. You need to cover your keister. So I'm sort of doing that front end load work. But that does literally mean I spent 4.5 hours yesterday sitting on my floor. I don't have a ruler, so I had my fabric tape measure taped down. I have the paper I was working on at the right angle to draw my straight lines. That's right. I can doodle for days, but a straight line, I've never been able to manage that. So, okay, cool.
Straight lines.
And I did that. And math.
Hard.
That's what I did for 4 hours yesterday. Was tape pieces of paper together, do a lot of math, draw a lot of lines, and cut out a bunch of paper, fold it up really crisply with all its nice tape lines. And then put them into envelopes that denoted what they were.
And I'm sure Phaedra was very helpful with this entire process.
Oh, were we ever? Pens roll, tape dispensers can be carried off, fabric tape measures need to be lied on, paper, of course, needs to be scattered before it's taped.
Absolutely.
So helpful, my cat. Then she also woke me up at 5:30 this morning and decided she was starving to death. I had to feed her breakfast, and we were aggressive for us.
Oh, dear.
Which literally means half jumping on us and harumphing.
Ooh, yeah.
That's aggressive for her, guys. She was starving, so I got up and fed her early this morning because she was not having that half-hour wait. She's not having that half-hour wait till 6. So I went, okay.
It was time.
It was time. So, okay. So that was what I was doing yesterday, which is great considering what won for me this month is the Make a New Project for the Fiber Festival. So what it means, now that I've whacked things, what am I whacking? Needles, yarn, stuff everywhere.
Stuff everywhere.
I can take this really pretty plaid.
Ooh, that is pretty. It looks like it feels nice.
It does. It feels very nice. And it's a woven fabric. How can you tell? It's selvage edge is not fraying, but the non-selvage edge is fraying. Already pre-washed, ready to go. I actually washed all of my fabric in my stash before I moved in here, just to make sure it was all washed before I had to start paying for washing loads. Wasn't born yesterday. I'm a semi-smart cookie. I got enough fabric yardage that with this I can pattern match because it's lines and squares, right? So I just have to decide what am I going to make. And we know it's going to be a dress. A nice plaid dress. That'd be really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is just what neckline, what sleeve, and what length, and what fullness of skirt do I want. And I'm going to do it from the pattern blocks I've been making.
I vote something with a reasonably long, reasonably swishy skirt because fall and having swishy fabric in fall is fun.
True. And I might be able to do it because I do have a lot of fabric on this one, especially if I do it with like no sleeves, like a jumper style that I have to wear a shirt on underneath for the sleeves. That could be very cute. Or I potentially could do a skirt vest combo.
Oh, yeah. That would also be super cute.
So we've got some option, guys. So I need to sit down. I actually need to lay this flat and then measure how much I have and see what I can do with it. And go from there. But it is woven, which means I'm going to have to do edging finishes, and I'm going to probably put a zipper in. Mostly because, well, I could do buttons and other things. The zippers are just a smidge faster because I don't have to go buy zippers. I actually have zippers. I have a lot of zippers. So, and then I can decide what I want to do. So I'm going to fall down a rabbit hole known as Pinterest. Take a look at some Pinterest boards I have and see if anything comes to inspiration and go from there. And it is heavy enough I don't have to line it, so that's nice too.
Plus.
So that is what I'm going to be working on. But what specifically is it going to be yet? I don't know. But yeah, something fall-y.
Also approves both ideas.
Also approves?
Yep.
So when you ask me why I don't want to do math later this week also, it's because my brain has been mathed out by Monday.
Karen likes the skirt and vest idea. That sounds cute with a white blouse.
It's got potential, and I'm certainly going to make sure it's got pockets. So woven fabric will hold up to it better. I'm not putting pockets in the knit dresses. They're shapy drapey. They're all flimsy whimsy. There's no structure to secure them to.
Shapy drapey and flimsy whimsy?
Yeah.
Like the wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, if you think about it, you put anything in a pocket that's heavy and there's no proper support for it, it causes
it just drags everything down.
It just drags everything down funny. So it just looks bad, and it's not. So that's another thing that's going to happen in the knit dresses. But in the woven fabrics, pockets all the way, guys. Like any classy Victorian and Edwardian lady, I understand that pockets are a thing.
Absolutely.
I will not fall to that male marketing. Thank you very much.
Jen says, I like the jumper idea. You could wear a cropped sweater under it.
I could wear a cropped sweater over it, too.
Also that.
There
are lots of options.
Lots of options. So I need to measure my fabric, see how much I have, see what kind of skirt I can make first, and then go from there and see what speaks to me. So I've got the month to do it, and a lot of creative freedom. So long as I don't fall off the flippin' bandwagon, should be fine. I got really close with the summer dress. Really close. If I'd had just a little bit more luck with my first mock-up and hadn't had to fix it 3 or 4 times to get to the right size and dart ratio.
That's part of the process. That's the mock-up process.
Yeah. But we're there.
Oh, also saying the hooded cardigan would be nice with that fabric.
Yes, it would.
Oh, okay. I voted for the sweater, but I am increasingly on board with this outfit idea.
I was half tempted to see if I had enough fabric to make secret pants.
Jen is helpfully pointing out that we're 7 days into August already.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate it. So
great.
Helpful. Oh my word.
That's all right.
Especially since it's September the 3rd for our first Sunday check-in?
Something like that, yeah. We have less than a month for this one.
Lord Almighty, save me now.
Okay, so real quick, the thing that did not get chosen was the "Don't Be a Dick" embroidery. I was kind of surprised, but apparently nobody wants to see the "Don't Be a Dick" embroidery.
I think nobody wants to see your polar bear get finished at some point. You know, the one that's only supposed to take like 4 hours.
Yeah, that one. What everybody wants to see, apparently, because this was voted for across all 3 platforms.
Yeah, I don't know what ratio my dress was, the new outfit was. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I have numbers.
Diana's got the numbers, guys.
She counted for us. Where is it?
She did, which was amazing.
Here we go. I didn't pull up a calculator for ratios. Anyway, you are quite solidly new outfit, and I am slightly more solidly crochet shawl.
Oh, wait. Listen, you've had that lighthouse shawl on your needles for a while.
You are 61% in favor of new outfit.
Okay.
And I am 68% in favor of crochet shawl.
Nice. Yeah, because you've had that lighthouse shawl since you first moved out or before you moved out.
Yeah, because this is yarn and a pattern from Midnight Cravings from Knit City when we were there, and I think I started it not that long after.
Not too terribly long after. I mean, it was after, but the whole point of that yarn was that shawl.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. You still have a ways to go.
Yeah, so, I finished it's a 3-color shawl. There's... My 1 color is done. I'm into the 2nd color, and it's, a really straightforward... I think it's just, half double crochet over all the way across. I don't even know anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna finish the 2nd speckly color, and then the 3rd color is just a nice chill gray, because it ultimately looks like... There's no secrets on there. It's ultimately gonna look like that, except I've got red instead of yellow, basically.
It's gonna look so good.
Yeah. So I have to remember how to do this. But it's very squishy. So I've got half a shawl. I can totally do half a shawl in a month, less than a month.
I can pretty much do a whole crochet cardigan in less than 7 days. And if we're honest, I actually have till tomorrow for it to be 7 days to get the hood done. Because I didn't start this crochet. I didn't start the campfire cardi till Monday. You can totally do half a shawl in a month. Crochet is so fast.
I know, it's
so fast.
This is so squishy, and it'll be so pretty in the fall. Cause yeah, it'll be really pretty. So I'm not upset. I am surprised, but I am not upset by the way things have gone.
I'll shawl, have it done, and wear it to the Manitoba Fiber Festival.
How much gaming so we do next month? And Karen's saying, dang, when I voted, most people wanted the embroidery. Yeah, embroidery was a popular one at first, but then it was not popular anymore.
Oh, I saw the lighthouse as an option, and I was like, switch accounts, switch accounts, switch accounts. Vote lighthouse, vote lighthouse. And then I got distracted and did something else for a while, then went and voted late in the evening.
Well, you got lighthouse, so
I want to see it done so bad. I'm almost ready for a color change. Oh man, I need a note-taking app.
Asa's asking, I want to know how much I should talk Jocelyn into gaming. Lots. Give me a fighting chance.
It's gonna be every day now, man. And it's not hard to bend my rubber arm.
Yep.
Oh, it's not hard.
Shall I talk about acquisitions and then we can launch into Woolly Workings?
Okay. Let's do that.
So, you know that sheep farm that's just like 20 minutes north of here that I got the big roving pucks from that I made the big sweater out of?
That might have a cat toy that my cat loves to death? Yeah.
Yeah. The one that smells really nice and sheepy.
Yeah.
So they do a sunflower festival in August because they grow sunflowers on their farm as well, among other things. And the sunflowers are in bloom. So they had, I don't know, about a dozen vendors and a couple of food trucks out there, and they have like sort of a corn maze kind of deal, but in the sunflower field, but it's kind of not really the same because the sunflowers aren't as tall as the corn, so whatever. But it was really nice. It was so hot yesterday, so I tried to wait until like the sun was really close to going down so it would maybe be a little bit cooler, which I think was a good move, but it meant that I was there right at the end, so I had to like run around and like buy stuff.
You couldn't do your go look.
No, I just had to like buy stuff.
Go look and buy. You had to function like me.
I spent lots of money.
That is how that happens for me.
So one thing I bought from Stone Spindle Farm is this gorgeous gold. It's wait, I can't read the ball band upside down. It is 70% alpaca, 30% wool, and it's a particular kind of wool from an endangered species of sheep, I think she said. It was a long something kind of wool. Anyway, apparently these sheep that her friend raises, these sheep are like, the rams almost come up to your like armpit, and they're just like these massive like small pony sized sheep, but they're just apparently the most gentlest things ever, and they're just like lovely creatures. And so this is a blend of that wool and alpaca, and it is dyed with kamala, which apparently is some kind of fruit.
Sure. It looks
gorgeous.
I
don't know. I hadn't heard of it either. This was sort of an experimental dye batch for her.
It looks gorgeous. So good.
Yeah. So.
Also, can I have a pony-sized sheep?
Right? I want a pony-sized sheep.
I want a pony-sized sheep.
So I waffled briefly between this and the indigo kind of stripy gradient one.
Okay.
But it was just such a gorgeous golden color, and I don't really have any gold because gold doesn't look particularly great next to my skin tone. So
That's
whatever this
gorgeous.
turns into is probably not for me. It's probably for somebody else. But I just really wanted to knit with it because it's so darn pretty.
Like Jocelyn, who looks great in gold?
Yeah, maybe.
Yep. Your mom, who also looks great in mustards and golds?
I could see my way to... I figured this wants to be some kind of a lacy shawl to extend the one skein of it that I have, because it was a kind of expensive skein. But I have 376 meters, thereabouts. So if I do something super lacy, should be reasonably large. So I don't know what it's going to be, but I think it wants to be a lacy shawl.
Or fingering mittens or a fingering weight hat or something.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, I can see those too.
Oh, it smells vaguely sheepy. Also vaguely like the lavender soap that I kept in the bag. That's actually really great. That's a very pleasant smell. Slightly sheepy, mostly lavender. That's actually really great. So I got that. And then I spent a long time chatting to the lady that runs Twin Oaks Farm. She's got a great setup. She has like a tiny yarn shop in a trailer, and she just like goes around to these things, and like her yarn shop is in the trailer. It's so great. It's such a good setup.
Love it.
So I spent a long time debating between the like really fun neon mohair and all of the different colors, but ultimately I had to go with the purple. I got some worsted weight 2-ply, 100% wool. And like look at this purple heather. It's got like little bits of pink and red and darker purple. Like it's just, I saw this and I was like, this is mine. This is all mine. Yep. So I took everything in the cubby. So I have 4 skeins of this, which is not a whole sweater. But I think if I mix it with like a gray or a white for some color work.
Yeah.
That was my thought. Yeah. But I didn't know what I was making with it yet. So I just grabbed the purple because it was there, and I'll figure out a contrast color at some point in the future when I know what it's going to be.
That works.
Oh, Nikki's saying I could make the orange crush shawl by Louise. I could, yeah.
You could.
Karen says I can make that drop stitch shawl that I made out of Erin's yarn that's huge and only 1 skein. Yeah. There are lots of choices. This yarn also smells slightly sheepy and very woolly.
Somebody remember 20 stitches for me.
So I bought it all. There, all 4 skeins. I have lots now. Because it's important to have lots of purple. And then she also had like a good chunk of the wall on one side was just fiber, like spinning fiber in all kinds of
I thought you said you weren't going to buy any more fiber.
I wasn't, but I had to pet the fiber, and there was all kinds of breeds that I hadn't spun before. Not that I've spun a lot, obviously, but like I don't even have these things. So then I pet this lovely dark gray Romney, and I was just like, oh, you're coming home with me. Yep. Look at this. It's like soft. It's soft. It's so great. So this is 100 grams of roving of Romney. And I think the sheep's name is Grape. I think that's what the tag is telling me. So, yeah.
That looks like it's going to be fun to spin.
Yeah. This also smells very nice and lavendery. I just I'm gonna make a habit of keeping lavender in my wool now, because this just smells really great.
Yuck.
I like lavender.
I know you like lavender.
Lavender's great, and you are incorrect. And then, not at the Sunflower Festival. This is earlier in the day.
Okay.
Mr. Diana wanted to go into the game store because he needed some paint, and then of course they also sell board games, so of course we also bought some board games. But this is knitting related because I bought a knitting board game.
Did you find it?
It's called Arch Ravels.
Oh no.
And the box art has a dinosaur in a sweater.
Oh, please tell me you two are bringing that with you when you come to visit.
Obviously. So we haven't played it. I haven't even punched out the pieces yet. Come on, box.
Oh, well, you gotta do that first.
But I wanted to show you some of the art on the inside. Oh my gosh, come on, box. Come on. Here we go. It came with a pattern for an octopus. It's a crochet pattern for an octopus.
Okay.
But it's got like all these tokens for all the yarn and the projects that you can make. Because it's sort of like no, is it like resource management? Like there's a market, you have to go and buy things in order to complete the other things.
That would be resource management. Yeah. That's my favorite kind of games for you and me is resource management games. Collect the stuff to do the things to earn the points.
There's a little cat token. There's a cat token. You use it to disrupt other players. You send a cat over and it plays in their yarn and then they can't knit anything that turn.
Yes. Oh my god, so much yes.
Right? And then, like, the rule book, like, crafters had a hand in this. What was it? There's like, references to spinning, and, the craft action has a yarn bowl icon. Come on. There we go. It has a yarn bowl icon.
Okay, looking forward to playing that.
One of the actions you can take is frog it.
I did that just this week.
So, like, I haven't played it yet, but I already love it.
I'm so excited to see you now. Not that I wasn't excited before, but now I know you have a knitting yarn game.
I know, and it's got little... I don't even know how this board is supposed to work, but there's like a whole big plastic tray. It's got like little yarn bowls for your little yarn tokens. It's just, it's so
they
cute.
stuck to their theme hard.
They really did. And there's like a components tray, and there's references to like embroidery and crochet. It's implied that everything's knitted pretty much. Yeah. Ooh, I just accidentally punched out a token. Okay, cool. I should put this down now before I lose something. I'm just like, the art inside the box is just, it's yarn balls.
Yarn balls. Yep. So appropriate.
Yeah. So that's my new knitting board game.
Box fart.
Box fart, yes. It's a very well-fitted box.
That is a very secure box.
It's got a unicorn on a different side.
Jeez.
It's got the little octopus.
Like you need to make the octopus that you get the pattern for.
Yes. Anyway, I'm really excited to play this. I think that's, I'm gonna rope Mr. Diana into that later tonight because we played his new game yesterday, so we get to play my new game today.
That is super fair.
You got a game that's all about it's like deck building but dice faces, and so you have to build a custom die basically.
Oh, so it's a deck building game with a twist.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you get to roll big chunky dice, and it's very satisfying.
Duly noted. Nothing wrong with being able to roll some dice and have some fun. Can you tell I used to work in a board game store, guys? And I used to date a guy who has a board game collection that you could have a board game cafe open with.
Yeah.
I play a lot of games.
Does he have more games? Does Mr. B have more games than Mr. Diana?
Yes. Hands down. Hands
Because I haven't seen
down.
Mr. B's collection in a while.
Oh, yeah. The mountain isn't getting smaller. The mountain range continues to expand. It slowed down a little because of a pandemic.
Right.
Yeah, but we're still like more Tiny Epic keeps showing up. He
Does he
can't
have an
stop
entire
himself.
Tiny Epic collection? I still need to get Tiny Epic dinosaurs because that was
He's a
really great.
completionist about some things, and his yeah.
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 Even if we broke it down so Mr. Diana had all his expansions count, then we would have to count Mysterious Mr. B's expansions.
Nah.
Yeah.
I
And
think
well,
the collections are probably comparable, but Mr. B probably is winning.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely either one of us could open a small board game cafe, and together we can open a regular sized board game cafe.
Cafe, yeah.
And that's not an exaggeration. There is no hyperbole here. Between
No.
the two collections, full board game cafe.
Yeah, we're not fudging or joking or making light. They simply between the two brothers own that many board games, and there are not that many duplicates. I think there's only
This
like
whole tech
maybe
career thing falls through. Like
board game
the Two
cafe?
Brothers Board Game Cafe, just that sounds good, right?
I will come be their person that talks to people because they don't people well.
No.
I will come be your people person.
Please do. I don't people particularly well either.
That's totally fair. Where do you work? The Two Brothers Game Cafe? It's not awkward at all. It's my ex-boyfriend and his brother. It's not weird.
No, it's fine.
Oh. Oh, so good. Okay. I'm so excited to play that game.
Yeah.
So wonderful.
I have to check. It might be on Board Game Arena, and then we don't have to wait until I come out.
Ooh, if it's a board game arena, we can play it then.
Come on. I can
All
type.
right. That's okay. You should probably do a check-in of chat, and I am going to find your word for the day. That is what I'm going to do. Guys, I need an app to help me organize stuff. I've got so much on the go. I don't have the space anymore. There's too much going on. I'm losing stuff.
It is not on Board Game Arena. I'm sorry, we'll just have to wait and play the physical game.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I want to start putting cats into your husband's stuff and start messing around with his knitting schedule.
Absolutely.
So he knows how it feels.
I've been informed that I need to make the octopus.
Of course you do.
I mean, obviously.
And if it's going too slowly, you need to send me the pattern and I'll make you the octopus.
Or that, yes.
I don't even know how to pronounce that word, so we're gonna go to the next word.
We'll come back to that one.
We'll come back to that one. Oh, I like the last one on this list.
I'm not gonna like this word, am I?
Not the last one. This week's fun. In 2 weeks from now, probably not so much.
Oh gosh. Okay. What's the word?
How's chat doing? How are you guys doing? Did you guys get anything done this month? We have some FOs. We have some woes. We have some new cast-ons. Are we getting excited because fall's around the corner? We'll actually have good weather shortly. I hate summer, guys. I hate summer. Okay, put my fabric down. Things are going on. You know, the more I think about it, the more I think you're right. Like knee length, slightly fuller skirt, so you can wear the boots, right? Or a full length skirt if I can swing it. Either like a square necked top with sleeves, or a square neck with no sleeves and a shirt on underneath.
Yep.
Yeah.
But either way, at least a knee-length skirt of reasonable squishiness.
Yeah. I have a lot. I have to measure how much meterage I actually have. If I'm honest, I'm just gonna take my full length walking skirt and lay out fabric and then lay out the full length walking skirt. And if I have enough for that, plus comfortable space to fiddle with the top, I'll cut it out and call it done. You know, because I did those pattern blocks and I've done that math. Not today. Today I'm going to eat ice cream after this.
Good call.
You ready for your word?
Yeah. What's the word?
Infinity.
Infinity.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Karen, I skipped the word before infinity because I don't know how to pronounce it.
We'll find out later.
Ooh, I have chocolate bar over here. Don't mind me. I'm good.
Okay. Well, it's time for the unscripted Patreon ad wherein I work in the word infinity somehow. So, if you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at patreon.com/Northern Knits Podcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we are active at all hours of the day and the night to infinity and beyond.
Whoa.
Mostly we enable each other into starting all the things, buying all the things, but we also cheer quite appropriately when we do actually finish the things.
It's true, we do.
What else? There's bonus content, there's Experimental Tuesday blog posts, there's what else? We do quarterly movie days. The next one of those is on August the 27th.
Yes. Because that's the Saturday after our e-knitted check-in. Or e-knitted.
Yes. Then at higher level support, we've got the e-knitting. That's going to be on the 20th. All of these happening at noon Manitoba time. What else? We're theoretically we're doing a poor job of doing the vlogs for the higher tiers.
Oh, absolutely abysmal.
I keep filming stuff. It's just the editing of this stuff is apparently incredibly challenging for me.
Don't know when any of those are going to arrive at your guys' door.
This is why I don't edit the podcast, by the way, because if I was in charge of editing the podcast, there would be no podcast. We're also doing some After Dark gaming for the super high tiers, because apparently you guys need even more of our faces. So After Dark gaming, we play something that's vaguely inappropriate and we swear.
It's
or
true.
I try to rip Jocelyn's head off while I throw her in a ravine,
oh,
you know?
She just... The last time you dangled me by my head, at least you pulled me up onto the platform.
It worked the last time.
It did work the last time. Then I kept, hurling myself off a cliff into a waterfall because I couldn't get up on the side of the frickin' house because of the stupid stone block.
Guys, we worked it out.
Yes, I eventually got to the next level, hurled myself off the side.
Yeah, it's, teamwork.
To the waterfall and then fell down right next to you in the next level.
Yeah, it worked. We solved the problem.
Yeah, Human Fall Flat. It's a puzzle solving physics game.
A+. It
is an enjoyable game, but oh man. Oh man, guys.
I think that's all the Patreon stuff.
That is all the Patreon stuff, yes. As always, we super understand that budgets are a real life thing. If you cannot financially support us, liking, subscribing, commenting, and interacting with us on social media is a great way to reach out, support, and help us out. So, we always want to know what you're working on. Please tag us so I can find it and tempt Diana, because that is like my favorite pastime, is interrupting Diana's workday with requests, questions, and interesting photos. It's a full-time job these days, guys. All that's going on. We have a great permanent coupon with the wonderful Erin of Fireweed Fabrico. You can save yourself 10% off by using Northern Knits 10 at checkout, so that you can buy some wonderful indie yarn and save some money. Always a bonus. Always a bonus. You're going to be able to find us live and in person at a couple of things coming up here pretty quickly, because planning is a thing. Barring a disaster, new lockdown, and or Diana forgot to book the airplane flights, we're going to see her here in September for the Manitoba Fiber Festival.
I'm not going to forget to book the flights. It's just whether the flights actually happen. I'll book them.
Marvelous moderator, can you get on reminding Diana to book her flights?
I am not forgetting. Literally, we're going to do that like tonight.
tonight. Okay. Uh, so she can come out and visit and do that. We're going to be based out of Aaron's Fireweed Fabrico booth. No plans for a meetup. But I don't know. It's a thing we could do. We could take a look at it. We're down to the last month, so that's really when we'll be making these sorts of decisions. So we're close to it. Just meet up and see everybody there. So that's going to be the first full weekend in September, September 8th and 9th. Yes, 8th and 9th. Second week. No, is that the first? I don't know, guys. It's September 8th and 9th. That's what I know. I don't know if it's like
it
the
was the
first
9th and
weekend
10th.
or
Anyway,
the
it's the second weekend.
Is it
It's the
9th and
second
10th?
weekend.
It's the Friday,
I
Saturday.
believe so.
It's the Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
That's what I remember.
The second Friday and Saturday.
That's what I remember. And there's a 9 or an 8 there somewhere. It's that weekend.
It's definitely a 9.
Okay. So that's going on. And then in November, we're going to be at the Edmonton Fiber Frolic together, which will be super cool because then we'll be like together, but in a different place that isn't home.
Yeah, that'll be weird. I haven't done that in a long time.
We've not done that in a long time. So that's also happening. And then I think other than that, we don't really have a ton on the go. We do have the wrap up of the summer solstice cal coming real fast.
Yeah, that'll be September 20th-ish.
Uh-huh.
We'll pick a more particular day around there.
Well,
for,
it just
the cast-on party for the new one.
Yeah, the cast-on party for the new one we'll have to establish that and settle that here shortly, which is something we need to do in the next week or two. So if you are working on summer solstice cals, Diana, I'm working on it. Need to start hauling keister because you're down to your last month and a bit. I currently have technically 2 crochet cardigans, and if I buckle down and got them done this week, I'll have 2 entries. Don't get distracted, Douglas. Okay, and I literally cast it on something new. Of course I'm not distracted at all. What are you talking about? That's the thing going on. So with all of that in the works, I think that's pretty much it. For like stuff we've got going on right now. I'm still in the woes of summer hibernation season.
Yeah. More stuff can happen in the fall when it's reasonable temperatures.
But I feel like a human again.
Yeah.
So
when the air is breathable and not 80% water.
Yes, you walk outside and have a wet towel smacked in your face. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Again, today I'm enjoying the break from the 30 plus humidity, humidex, and UV index of 9 summer. That is apparently our new normal now. So not impressed. I'm enjoying this low 20s day.
Yeah, we don't get that till later in the week.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So's my cat. We both enjoy it. It's good times. But I think that's it. Other than books, because we decided to do just a check-in once a month and see what kind of books we've liked that we've been reading.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big one.
Window is open. Can you tell?
Vroom. Okay, I gotta pull up my books because it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Come on, Goodreads, tell me what I've read in the past month. I finished my goal for the year. I had a goal of 30 books for the year. I finished it. I don't need to read any more books this year.
I mean, you're going to.
Oh, of course I'm going to. Okay. I'm just going to go backwards in order of I finished this very recently to slightly older stuff.
I'm with you.
I read Artemis by Andy Weir.
Okay.
It's about a city on the moon called Artemis, and there's a caper. Or a heist, if you will.
A heist, if you will? Okay.
Yeah. It's a caper on the moon with drama. There's drama. At the end, I was supposed to be falling asleep, and I'm like, no, I need to know how this ends. Does everybody die? Does everybody live? I don't know. There was drama.
There was drama?
It was not a good read, chill out before bed book. It's not that. There was too much drama.
Too much stuff. Okay. I haven't read that. The only thing I read by Andy Weir is The Martian. I really did enjoy that book. I've reread it a couple of times.
Yeah, it's got the same level of do they live or die at the end drama.
Snark. Does it have the same level of snark? Because it's the snark that I like in The Martian.
There's some snark. Let's see. I finally finished A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie.
Whoa,
that took long enough. That took a few months. Yeah, apparently I started that in May. I finished it at the end of July.
Okay.
So I'll go with low fantasy. It's fantasy. There is magic, but not really. There's not much. Mostly it's just a lot of politics, which is good. Like, it's really well done. There's, like, different point of view characters, and eventually all their storylines kind of start to come together. It's just not what I was in the mood for reading at the time.
That's fair.
But I was forcing myself to read it for a book club that didn't end up happening anyway. A little bit bitter about that.
Only a touch.
Only a touch. Yeah.
Only a touch.
Anyway, it's really well done. It's just not what I was in the mood for at the time.
That's fair. Joe Abercrombie is hit and miss depending on what you're looking for.
That's fair.
It's very, very. He's like Tolkien. He writes a very specific way, and it's not for everybody.
Fair. I also read The Girl in His Shadow. My library was doing like some kind of ginormous book club, and it was an ebook that they were just allowing unlimited copies of it to be taken out, so I'm like, sure, I can hop on this. I didn't participate in any of the book club stuff, but I read the book because it was very highly rated, and yeah, it was good. It's like late 1800s London, and this girl is like a really good surgeon, except, woman, so can't actually tell anybody that she's really amazing because it's wildly illegal because woman for, reasons. So then everything comes to a head because she does something amazing and they want to tell people about it, but she can't. She has to let her male colleague take the credit for it, but, of course that blows up because he didn't actually do it, and it's a whole big thing.
I mean, it sounded interesting, even with your ability to add way too many words.
I didn't sell that particularly well. Okay.
But, I mean, I'm still interested in reading it, so...
It's the story of one woman who believed in scientific medicine before the world believed in her. Raised by the eccentric surgeon Dr. Horace Croft after losing her parents to a deadly pandemic, the orphan Nora Beatty knows little about conventional life. While other young ladies were raised to busy themselves with needlework and watercolors, Nora was trained to perfect her suturing and anatomical illustrations of dissections. So, yeah. It's got some down with the patriarchy elements, there's a romance element, there's that whole... the etiquette and classes system, whatever, of the late 1800s.
That's fair. It was quite elitist and quite classist.
And then I probably mentioned it last time we did books, but some more Victoria Thompson books. I think I'm on what book number is this? 7? I finished book number 7 of 25.
It's a really freaking addictive little fun series.
Really what am I currently reading? I am currently in the middle of Humans, A Brief History of How We Effed It All Up. On your recommendation. It's fantastic. It's like Douglas Adams wrote a history book. It's so great.
So good. So good.
So good.
It's totally the right call. Totally the right call.
Absolutely. 100% what I am into right now.
I suggested it to my mom. I was like, here's a history book you can get behind. Mom's like, I don't know. She's reading it. She's like, okay, you're right. This is the level of history your mom likes. I'm like, listen, you helped edit all of my university paper. So the level of history that you were forced to consume because your daughter was in university for it is excessive. I'm only bringing you the fluffy stuff now. Because you are not passionate about these things. You were just doing the kind mom thing and helping with my grammar structure. But again, guys, my niece was very little. When she was sick, I would read my textbooks to her because I couldn't stop studying to help give my sister a break. So I would have like snotty, crying, cold, infused child in my arms, and I'd have like the life and death of Caesar in the other hand. I'd be reading because I'm warm. I give off so much heat, which helps relax your chest muscles. So she'd fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she must have picked up so much history from being sick.
She was calling her mother a Visigoth by the time she was 3. That's all me. She used to tell stories out of the Bayou Tapestry book that I had for one history class. Oh, the pony died. It got an arrow through it. Guts everywhere. Big, full-length, coffee table-sized book with color photos of the Bayou Tapestry. If you don't know what it is, Google it. Learn your history. And it just, yeah. How come the ponies have different colored legs? Well, that's how you know one pony leg is front, one pony leg's back. Oh, that makes sense. And in some of the cases, I'm not going to explain to her the whole process of maintaining and updating and refurbishing. Like, I'm not explaining any of that to her. She was 4. So you could tell what leg of the pony was what leg. 4.
That works.
She didn't care. This guy's coming from his eye. Yes, he does. He is the main character of that storyline. This whole thing for him, he's like in one picture. A couple, but okay, yeah, cool. No, it's all right. I'm with you. That's sure. Again, 4, guys. We were 4. We watched Little Einsteins, and we would tell stories out of my Bayou Tapestry history textbook.
And tell everyone to stop being such a Visigoth. That sounds really great.
Kid had a unique lifestyle. Hey, listen, I also taught her to do the live long and prosper by the time she was 3.
That's
so she could tell her grandma to live long and prosper. Took longer to get the finger motion down than it took to get the words out.
Apparently people find that one really challenging.
It can be really hard. Well, there's another one I was watching Instagram Reels, so like it might have been a TikTok moved to Instagram. But apparently there aren't many people who can touch their index finger and pinky finger together.
That this is a weird thing to be able to do.
Apparently. I mean, you and I can, so I don't know. It's not on the internet. It must be true. We stopped talking about books, what, 3 weeks ago?
So thereabouts.
Cool.
I also was saying I heard a history podcast about the tapestry. It was so funny. They counted all the different things as male parts.
Oh, there's mythological creatures in the borders, and their members are extended.
Cool.
Many dirty things to pull from that Bayou Tapestry. They're mythological creatures, but they weren't as... Most of the taboos that we understand for all of adult stuff come out of Edwardian and Victorian time frames. They just didn't... It wasn't a thing in the early and middle medieval ages. Just what, like, marriage wasn't it wasn't a thing. Like, if you wanted to get married up to about the 15th century, it didn't matter if you were a priest or a layperson. Only monks really chose not to get married. So long as you could pay the guy to file the paperwork, you could stand up at the bar, get married to one person 1 week, decide to get married to a different person 6 months later, totally legit. You just stood up and said that's what you were going to do, and then you stood up and said it was done, and you stood up with the next person. Super legit, so long as you could pay the shilling or whatever it was, depending on where you were to file the paperwork. That's all that mattered. So all of your thoughts of marriage and commitment and the solidarity, like in the union and stuff, all from the church and all from about the 15th century onward, and Victoria is why you have to have a big wedding. There you go.
Yeah.
There's your history for the day.
Yep.
Okay. So, I'm just going to list.
Okay.
The Book of Magic. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. I'm gonna try to buy. My eyes are so not focusing today. Alice Hoffman, protagonists in their 80s and 70s and 60s and 50s and 40s. Like all of your main characters are not young people.
Nice. That doesn't happen
And
much.
then you have the younger people wrapping up the story as the next generation starting the thing, right? So yeah. Yeah. Also, beautiful, poignant story about passing and magic and family love and traditions in sort of being misunderstood within your own community. Beautiful, beautiful book. Highly recommend. The Book of Magic. Do. Reread The Martian.
Apparently, Marvel's saying
Patient
hi to us.
Zero. Ooh, what now?
Marvel is saying hi to us.
Hi, Marvel.
Hi.
Patient Zero, A Curious History of the World's Worst Diseases. Highly recommend.
I put that one on hold.
Yeah. Cause reasons. Yeah, I know. I finally, it took, you have to do that in snippets because it's so much fact. You gotta give yourself a break every now and again.
Yeah.
The Reality Bubble, Blind Spots, Hidden Truths, the Dangerous Illusions that Shape Our World. Shadow Fight, which is Shadow Riders book number 5 by Christine Freshad. Guys, I cannot focus on anything today. Mediocre romance novel. The Viscount Made Me Do It. The Viscount Made Me Do It. I don't always say that wrong the first time. I know better. The Viscount Made Me Do It, which is the Clandestine Affairs book number 2 by Diana Quincy. I'm thinking that's your name. Spelling. Yeah, that's the spelling of your name. It's so
yeah,
blurry.
that sounds right. Yeah.
Which then led me down a whole romance novel thread. So we literally have the entirety of the 4 books from the Steampunk Proper Romance series by Nancy Campbell Allen. Diana needs to read these. First one is Beauty and the Clockwork Beast. Second one is Kiss of the Spindle. Then I've got. I'm just gonna have to scan because I tend to do this. Brass Carriages and Glass Hearts is I think the 4th one. And do I forget what the other one is? Oh, I read all 4 of them. Anyway, I read a lot of books. There's the Laird and I. That was a cute little romance one. Very contemporary. It's a contemporary romance, so cute, but I got a problem with contemporary romances. I don't buy it. Like a lot of the times I don't I can't suspend my disbelief for it. But I can for super cheesy ones set historically and accurately. I know it makes no sense, but here it is. Her Night with the Duke.
Setting that I guess is sufficiently different from reality.
Yeah, Her Night with the Duke is the Clandestine Affairs book number 1 by Diana Quincy. Where is the last of those? Because I read the last of the. I literally fell down a Nancy Campbell Allen rabbit hole and read everything that I could get my hands on for free.
Oof.
Yeah, so
that
Steampunk
like
Proper
hole.
Romance was Beauty and the Clockwork Beast, Kiss of the Spindle, The Lady in the Coppergate Tower, your Rapunzel, because I know you like Rapunzel.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And then The Brass Carriages and Glass Hearts. It's number 4. Read them all. They're freaking adorable, steampunk, and well written. Like, I gave them 4 out of 5.
Okay, all right.
And I generally don't rate romance any higher than a 3, because for me, a romance is a read and move on. There's not a lot of romance, guys. Like, if you're looking for steamy fun, these are not the books for you. They're part of her sort of like proper romance series sort of theme, but it's set in a steampunk variation of Victorian England. So, like, Beauty and the Clockwork Beast, He has a steam-powered airship. Was that Beauty? No, that's not Beauty. That is Kiss of the Spindle. She's flying around in a steampunk airship, and that's like a normal mode of transportation. They have
Nice.
horseless steam. They have horseless carriages, steam-powered horseless carriages, mechanical androids. Like they went way into the steampunk, and just owned it as regular stuff. And oh yeah, it's really well done. Nice. And I love a good retelling of a myth, and they do a really good telling of these myths. All right.
Oh, Asa's asking if there will be a list of books somewhere.
I'm gonna have to
put one up somewhere. We'll figure that out.
My Fair Gentleman, again, Nancy Campbell Ellen. Again, everything I can get my hands on. Because they're really good books with just a touch of romance in them. So, like, it's the core of the story, but it isn't, and then they're immediately in bed together, which is the thing I hate about contemporary romances. There is some build up to it, so the relationship has more depth to it. The last one by Nancy Campbell, I'm serious, I fell down a rabbit hole, is The Secret of the Indian Orchid. Again, it's a part of like her proper romance series stuff that she does. She's a great author, and I, of course, devoured everything I could get my hands on. And then I went, oh my word. Diana's gonna kill me.
Also saying that she has me on Goodreads, but Jocelyn doesn't care to answer.
I check my Goodreads messages about as often as I check my Ravelry message. So until somebody tells me I have to go check, I don't go look. I will go check. Don't look. I will go accept friendship requests, guys. Does Diana have me linked for Goodreads? I will accept friend requests all the time. I'm just really bad at it. I decided I needed to slow down somehow, and I thought it would slow me down.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. I am at book 4 of the Expanse series reread now. I'm sure I would not have read that much by now. When you listen to stuff at 1.6 speed, because that's what your ears are used to hearing, your 21-hour books are now 14. Your 6-hour books are now like 3.
Yeah. I do appreciate that about audiobooks.
They're on all the time, and I've not, outside of Critical Role and like the occasional YouTube knitting podcaster, I have not watched any television in the last 3 or 4 weeks at all. I am just really, or listening to music or podcasts. Like I'm behind on Double Tap Canada, and I'm very rarely behind on Double Tap Canada. I'm just reading. All I want to do is read, and I'm just chain reading right now. So, that happened. Most of them I got.
So you read 30 books in a month, and I've read 30 books all a year. Cool.
Well,
cool.
No, technically, it's 17.
Uh-huh.
And some months I don't really read at all, and I rewatch Critical Role for the month. So that's where I'm at, guys. It all was kicked off by Kiss of the Spindle, which was book 2, and I just kept going to go find more, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to pay, and then I found them for free somewhere else, so I didn't have to pay. They were in the Plus catalog for Audible, so they were just there, so I could listen to them.
Nice.
And then I was like, I need to slow down
a little bit.
I'll reread the Expanse series because Diana's working through the last book in the series, right?
Yes,
Familiarize myself with the
will
characters.
Read it eventually. I'm trying to finish the books that have to go back to the library on the Libby app first because they have a deadline. This is the problem because I have so many things on hold on Libby, and I'm like, I'll just like get another book, and then wait, now I have 14 days to read this book.
Yeah.
Everything has been coming up so much, and I'm just like, no, tell me about it again in a week. No, tell me about it like daily. I have to be like, no, tell me about it again in a week.
I did put the Sea of Tranquility off for 6 days. I'm not vibing to Sea of Tranquility. I want to read it, but I'm not in that frame right now. I'm plowing through, and again, like Cibola Byrne, which is like book 4 of the Expanse series by James S. A. Corey. It's a 20-hour book, and then I started it on Audible, and it says 14 hours for me. I know it's a 20-hour audiobook. I literally shaved 6 hours off because I'm so accustomed to receiving auditory information that slow moving auditory information is driving me around the bend.
Oh no, everything, like YouTube videos and everything, at least 1.5.
Oh yeah,
Depending
yeah,
if it's like somebody's voice that I listen to a lot, then it's like 1.75.
I could do Critical Role at regular speed, but because it's an event, like I'm chatting with people and I'm interacting with stuff, so like I have other things on the go at the same time. But like on rewatches, oh yeah, that they're sped up.
Yeah, I do 1.75 for Critical Role.
Not that fast. About like 1.4 to 1.6 is my comfort zone, depending on what I'm doing.
The only audiobook that I have not sped up was one I read last year. And the narrator had an accent that I am not familiar with. That one had to be at regular speed.
Yeah, that's fair, because it's harder for you to pick up the words.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a thing. Again, I don't know if this month will be the same way, like if it'll continue through August, or if I'll be like, and I'm done, and I do something else for a while. So I just don't know. I just don't know.
It happens.
We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Oh, seashells by the seashore.
Catching up on chat. Going way back in chat for a second. Also saying that she's going to be at the opera on the 20th for the Enid In, but we'll probably still be chatting when she gets home. Yes, that is accurate.
Yeah, that is accurate. We will probably still be chatting when you get home from the opera.
She was also saying, I read a Norwegian youth book about a base on the moon, and I could not sleep until I knew what happened, and it was so scary, and I was not able to turn the lights off or fall asleep. Yeah, that was Artemis for me. It was like,
yeah.
But does everybody die? I need to know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We feel you. It's a thing. I'm gonna have to put Artemis on the list to go find it and read it, I guess. Okay. I think
it's a short one too. It's like 8 hours or something.
Okay,
I was like finishing, a 1-day book for you.
Less than, because I was finishing 2 of those proper steampunk romance novels a day.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Yeah. I ate through a lot of books this month. I should just do that. It should just be Jocelyn's monthly book list. That's what I listened to this month, guys. Wall of links.
I mean, that's what the Books channel on Discord's for, right?
Yeah, and I do post things there, so. Those are the things. Just, what do you want, kitten? Oh, well, you just poked me to roll over. We have had a long chat. Which is good. It means I can do a wrap-up exit. Outro, if you will.
Outro?
Yes, kitten. Oof. I said outro.
And then I have to go get ready to go see a house and decide if I'm just gonna go make the biggest purchase of my life. Oh, the anxiety.
Yeah, cool. Until next week, I'm gonna say I'm Jocelyn.
Hi, I'm a ball of anxiety.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit. Oh wait, I forgot to switch a button.
Ball of anxiety.
Yeah. Fair.